Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to have a look at Hell 50. Now, what does that mean? It just means that we're going to have a look at the different tactics that you can use in order to beat these bosses. Now, first things first, Firelink Guardian. This is these are the minions for the first boss. These are unkillable. They do not go down. I have tested this. They do have more than 15 HP. So as we can see, loses 1 HP when performing a basic attack and is immune to all damage. Now, that does not mean that they are immune to their own attacks. So say, for example, if you have a copy of the latest unit, Leviathan, and preferably at 9 stars, but this still works at 7 stars when she unlocks her second passive. Hold on. Yeah, I thought so. No, I'm just joking. Right, so this second passive here, when Leviathan is alive, there is a 50% chance that an enemy hero's active skill will redirect the target to themselves. This means that these units here, they will attack themselves. Now, typically they would be immune to our damage, but they are not immune to their own damage. So I believe that you can get away with having Leviathan in the team for the units. And then what will happen is these Firelink Guardians, they will kill themselves effectively, which is, it's a way around it. I believe that's how it works. I've done a bit of testing on it, and I have seen that these guys do take themselves down if you do have Leviathan on the team, which means that all of your attacks then can be directed to the Firelink Priest, who does not have sort of a health restriction. Can't lose more than 1% HP, can't lose more than 5% HP, stuff like that. There are bosses like that. But instead, what I've gone with is Ophelia. Now, the earliest that I've seen a victory with Ophelia specifically on the team, and with this particular team setup against this Firelink boss, is round 3. And the reason for that is because Dahlia swaps with Cleo. If you don't have a copy of Cleo, then I've got some news for you. You need to go and summon for Cleo, or you can go and summon in the Oath recall event. You get up to 100 summons, and it just means that you can pick up a 1-star copy of Cleo. As you can see, she's been out for quite some time now, I believe since September of last year, something like that. And I've only got her up to 9 stars, so I've only ever got 4 copies of Cleo, and that is through all of the seasonal stuff, so all of the end of the season Oath recalls. I've picked up a single copy of Cleo per season. That's once every 2 months. I've not summoned for her on the Fate scroll or Fate summons. The Fate summons, I would suggest picking up a copy of Victoria if you can. And the reason for that is Victoria is very, very strong, especially against bosses like this, where giving the additional defense is very, very important if you do not have the Undying Shield combo. Now, artifacts, I've gone for pretty standard. I've gone for increase in Ethereal's damage. Gone for our healing spear, which means we can every time we heal, we convert that into attack, very much like the what do you call it? Where's it gone? The Grace of Hunters. It's a smaller version of that. Then I've got the Pursuit Dart, which on crit will give us an additional strike. I've also gone for the Awaken ability, just in case, because we do effectively need that extra 150% attack and defense, and 1 stack of Sanctuary for 3 rounds during battle. So landing a crit has that 10% chance, so all of our stuff is based on crit damage, which is why I've gone for the increased crit rate of 50% and also the increase of attack of 20%. Now, second team, we've gone for Gaia, Mulan, Atrops, Victoria, and Elma. The reason that I've gone for this is because we can use the Undying Shield combo. Having Atrops on this back row, very important. If you think that Atrops or your Atrops can survive the initial couple of rounds before you get built up, then you can go ahead and pop her on this front row, but I've found popping her on this back row is very, very good. I am also using a copy of Victoria. If you don't have a copy of Victoria, you can use a copy of Leviathan. If you don't have a copy of Leviathan, then you would go with another stack increaser, so potentially Dullahan in this spot. The reason that you would go with a unit like Dullahan is because he increases the corrode stack limit, or potentially if you are struggling for survival, then you can go ahead, pop in Macaria, you can go ahead, pop in Victoria, you can go ahead, pop in Hades, Leandra, all of the above. Pandora, especially very good, but not many people will have her because she's not out in the shop yet. But again, I'm going to go with Victoria because she is the latest unit to get skin, and I do want to see how well she does. With regards to artifacts, we can change these up, so we can remove you. We remove you, keep you in, unequip you, we'll pop you in, and then we will pop in our wings as well. We also want to increase our speed, and in fact, no, we're not going to pop you in. We are going to pop in the dodge, and I'll show you just why in a second. So we need to increase our dodge chance, which is the clause here. So increase dodge rate by 25%, and we'll also go ahead and might as well increase our damage boost by 20% as well. So the reason that I've gone for this counter-attack horn after triggering dodge retaliates with a basic attack against the attacker during battle. These guys attacks all enemies, dealing 60% damage. When an enemy deals basic attacks, it will lose 1% of its max HP and is immune to all damage. So we do lose, we do counter-attack quite often with this team. If you bear with me. We do counter-attack quite often with this team, and Mulan especially will do a lot of heavy lifting in this event. In case you don't know why Mulan does a lot of the heavy lifting in this event, we can have a look at her passive. So I believe it's this one here. Dragon Soul enhances Mulan after she takes damage. Each enhancement increases her attack by 15% and all allies max HP by 15%, the maximum increase limit of 66. Whenever an ally triggers a follow-up attack, Mulan channels the power of her Dragon Soul to make a basic attack. Basic attack. That's why she's really strong in this event. Follow up against the target, dealing 60% physical damage and applying 3 stacks of corrode. This is really, really powerful, especially with Gaia as well, applying that corrode stack. So we're going to jump in just a second. Bear with me. There we go. I'm back. And now let me show you. Dishlish. Cup of coffee. Right, okay, so let's jump in and let's see how well we do with these team setups. Now, I have no doubts about this one. It's just this one I think that we might need to change up ever so slightly. But again, we'll have to see. I know for a fact that this team will beat this boss either by round 3 or round 5. It just depends on our luck, to be honest, and who dodges what. And what I mean by that is Grace of Shadows. If we retaliate, or if Cleo dodges an attack and she retaliates with her ultimate attack, it just means that we're going to get that additional boost. So realistically, we do want Cleo to dodge the attack and perform her ultimate attack, which will allow us to do a lot of damage. Now, we don't do very much damage here at all. As you can see, 24k. It's subpar. It's lower than it should be. We aren't able to do any damage to these boss monsters, these minions, and it doesn't look like we're doing altogether too much damage to the boss, but we are building up and building up and building up. So this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see Cleo perform her ultimate attack by dodging an attack, and that is again thanks to Grace of Shadow. Now Cleo will once again perform her ultimate attack. Remember what happens with Cleo's oath, her pledge, her ultimate attack. That's why we do so much damage, is because Cleo will stack her, she will provide 50% of her attack to the rest of the team. So the first time she does it, we are able to, the first time that she does her ultimate, it stacks her own attack. And then the second time it does it, it bases her own attack off. And as you can see, round 2 here, this is quite something to behold. Yeah, a round 2 victory against this boss is spot on. Again, the way that it works is Cleo will perform her ultimate, increasing her own attack. Dahlia will switch, copying all of the buffs and increasing Cleo's attack up to 1500%. Oof. What a fool. What a fool I am. Yeah, I'll be just a second. Bear with me. Let's go ahead and retry that. But what we will do is we're going to take out this. We'll take you out, and then we'll pop in our Undying Shield. That might help. And then hopefully we won't die on round 1. Yeah, what a fool. But that was the perfect start, and we got it on VO, so I'm absolutely happy. I'm ecstatic about that. Can you tell? Yeah. We won't be able to repeat it here, but the way that it works is Cleo will perform her ultimate, Dali will switch, increasing Cleo's attack, and Cleo has already increased her own attack by 50% as well. And then she will perform her ultimate again. Dali will switch with Cleo after the ultimate, increasing the team's attack even more, which is why we're able to get up to those astronomical figures that we have seen as well. So let's go ahead and skip. It looks like round 5 on this one, so there is a variance, so between round 2 and round 5. And now that we have Undying Shield in here, we should be good to go. We apply all of these corrode stacks on here. That is what's going to get us through. Victoria, unfortunately, does go down. And now every time we take an action, we won't gain that additional defense and additional attack up to that 130%. But it is what it is. Either you have Ophelia in this spot, or you have a unit like Victoria who increases attack. But as you can see, we're nearly out of round 1. And we've nearly taken these minions down. So the quicker that we can take these minions down, the more damage we're going to be able to do to this boss. So it is now just a matter of time. We need to do around 20% of this boss's health. Because what happens is the boss will lose 40% of their health when their minions go down. So now we have another, effectively, oh yeah, you go Atrops, let's get in. So we do increase our own attack here. Atrops will perform her ultimate. And no double, unfortunately. We do have the doubler in, don't we? Yeah, we don't. That's why. It's fair. Right, but we'll see. But yeah, as you can see, this guy's down to half shield already. We're only at round 2. The strategy behind this, you need to take down this boss's minions as quickly as you possibly can. And then once you have taken down this boss's minions, you should start to build up. Victoria also helped with the Strikers synergy. So getting that Strikers synergy in there for Mulan and Atrops to build up is going to be really, really impactful. Now, I do think we've still got... Yeah, unfortunately, that Watcher's Pledge will fall off now. So I don't think we'll get to where we need to be. But effectively, what we're looking for is as much damage on this boss as we possibly can, up to that 20%, because when the minions die, the boss will lose 40% of his HP. And then what happens is that so the boss loses 40% of HP, and then the minions come back around 10, I believe. The revival mechanic kicks in, and then the boss will again lose that 40% HP, which means that all we need to do in order to beat this boss is do 20% of its health. It doesn't have any... so it doesn't have any other mechanics like 5%, or we can only do 5%, we can only do 1%. The only thing that gives it additional defense really are his minions. His minions give 15% damage reduction per so this is per what is it? Yeah, per attack. Per minion. So it goes up to 60% damage reduction total. But we look like we've done effectively around enough. I think we do need to do a bit more. So fortunately, we've still got another 2 rounds, and we should see Atrops. Yeah, so we get Atrops' ultimate here, her initial, and then Elma doing the attack. We also get a follow-up ultimate attack from Atrops here, which will increase our damage. Yeah, as you can see, Elma doing 40,000, Gaia now doing 140,000, Mulan doing, upwards of 40,000 million. Really, really strong, and we're looking for as much damage as we can possibly do. Now, the minions do come back around round 10, but we should see a lot of damage off these guys right off the bat, because Mulan will, every time we do a basic attack, Mulan will follow up like this, for example. So yeah, again, Mulan is the key to beating this boss specifically. Really, really strong. And again, the boss has now lost another 40% HP, and he looks like he's on around 10%, maybe 5% HP, and we just need to do that over the next 5 rounds. Given that Atrops has been building up with that Strikers synergy, it's really, really strong. So we should see here Atrops do a lot of work, because Elma's going to start to do, yeah, Elma doing 9,000 million on his ultimate. It's very, very strong. Gaia doing 40,000 million on her ultimate as well. Really, really powerful. And Mulan, every time she does a basic, she is also doing 18,000 million. Very, very strong. Now, it is the burn mechanic that we're looking for realistically. So the burn mechanic, really, really powerful in this particular spot, because it does percentage-based damage rather than... so it does percentage-based damage rather than just straight-up numbers, which is oftentimes much more powerful. So we probably beat this boss here. We may need to change up the relics ever so slightly, but as you can see, that is the tactic in order to beat this boss. It's just about doing as much damage and as much corrode as we possibly can to this guy, and maybe even including a Mystifier's... well, we've got the Mystifier's damage. Potentially we include the Valianta's damage as well, but I think this might be the last round for this boss. Yeah, we're still doing only very little damage, realistically. There we go. So this, we should see now. I mean, he's losing a lot. Yeah, I don't think this is enough. I don't think so. So maybe we take Victoria out. Right, hold up. Okay, so we've jumped back in. Instead of using Victoria in this spot, I've gone with Astrid. The reason that I've gone with Astrid, first of all, she is a Mystifier. Secondly, she does give us the Deviant synergy as well. So very, very strong, very powerful effect on that Deviant synergy. But it is primarily for her rune passive as well. In case you don't know, Astrid's rune passive allows for us to increase our attack, so our team's attack, by her speed. So if you've got her skin, it makes it even more powerful. Now, we have got a double attack from Astrid here. That is also another part of her passive, and we have started to do a lot more damage. As you can see, we're up to 8,000 million already, and we're only on round 2, and we are doing a lot of damage to this enemy boss now. Bit more than we were doing before. I know we've seen Gaia get up to that 40,000 million, but I think that over time, this build is going to be much stronger. We do lose out on the increasing our allies' attack every round with that Striker synergy, but I think Astrid's power makes up for it, or at least her rune passive makes up for it, and it is all increase attack based on speed. So we are going to be increasing our attack based on Astrid's speed, which I believe is up to 116. Yep, so very, very strong. So let's go ahead and see. I'm not going to sit through all 15 rounds, but we will hopefully see a victory here. But we'll see. Usually I'm just very much used to see a lot more damage. But yeah, up to 17,000 million at the moment, and that's only going to go up. Yep, 50,000 million here. A follow-up of 3,000 million from Mulan's basic attacks. So we should see a lot of damage popping in. Now from Elma, we should see a lot of damage popping in from... oh, it's not as much as I would like. 2,500 million. How much is Gaia doing here? So she does get her double. So it does go up and up and up. Let's see. Yeah, 5,900 million. That's okay. That's all right. It does the job. And we get Elma's attack again. It is thanks to the Grace of Shadows here. So let's go ahead and skip, and let's see whether or not this team is viable. No, we were really close on that one again. Let me just try this one more time. That first team, absolutely, hands down. I've not lost with this team so far. Yeah, we were close on that one. Bear with me. There we go. So I did manage to beat it. It was a bit of just a matter of RNG with that last team. So let's go ahead and check out the actual team that I ran. Instead of having Atrops in the back row, I did pop Victoria in the back row as well for the additional burn damage. I have also, it is really about Atrops dodging in that front slot. As long as your Atrops dodges in that front slot for the first round, before you take these guys out, these minions out, it is all about Atrops dodging those attacks. So as long as you increase your dodge rate as much as you possibly can using the artifacts that we've discussed, then she will be able to survive the entire fight. So this is how much damage this boss has. It is a lot. It is a lot. So yeah, what I would suggest if you are having trouble, instead of using Victoria here in this second team, you would use Astrid. And in this first team, potentially, you would have, so effectively you would take out Cleo of this team, and you would replace her with Atrops. And then in this back team, you would take out the Atrops and the Victoria, and you would go with somebody like Dullahan, or potentially even, like Dullahan and Astrid instead, and that should see you through. But again, we have powered through, and that is Hell 50. So thanks very much for watching. Hope it's been informative, and yeah, you have a great day.